And welcome back to another episode of our Dinner Party podcast. I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Keith.
We're the podcast that covers topics you can cover later, like at a dinner party. All right, let's get into it. This episode, Americans are desperate for cheaper cars, and automakers have little to offer. Shocking.
That's true.
From Business Insider, small, affordable cars like sedans that were all but abandoned by the American automotive industry in the last decade are poised to have a good year in 2025. The most popular cars in America last year, according to Edmunds data, skewed towards more of an affordable model like Honda Civic, Toyota Corolla, and a Tesla Model Y. The Civic jumped 7 spots to crack the top 10 this year, a sign that the death of the sedan may be overstated, according to Drury. And a reminder, we kind of touched on it earlier, but the major manufacturers like Ford entirely abandoned their sedan lineup, all but the Mach-E, which is an all-electric vehicle. And Chevy also killed off many of its sedans in 2024, with the Malibu ending its production run in November of last year.
Oh,
so
wow, that's right.
There's actually just literally less car options when we talk about that.
I didn't think about that, yeah, because it was the Fusion?
Ford Fusion, Fiesta, Focus.
Yeah, I don't see those on the road anymore.
Gosh, there's something that looks like a Mercedes Model C that Ford used to have. My mom had one, and I can't think of it, but they had actually like a decent lineup of car options. Oh, the Ford Taurus was around for a long time.
Yeah.
All of those gone. You can only buy a Mustang or a Mach-E. Those are kind of the two. And Chevrolet, I believe, really just has their Camaro and Corvettes. Like, they basically keep their like supercar / sports car lineups. Both of the American makers did. And honestly, if you look at Volkswagen, they have a couple sedans. Audi has a couple sedans. So even some of the foreign markets really look the same. So that's why you're looking at Honda, Toyota, and I guess Tesla as some of the big three. The Japanese had a very different mindset when it came to adopting what consumers wanted.
That's true. I guess when I think of smaller cars, I do think of Toyota or Honda first.
Yeah. And that's really how they got their like glory days started, was being the small car option that didn't break down. It's not like a Pinto or something like that. It was a reliable car that wasn't so wasn't guzzling fuel, honestly. It kind of goes back to that fuel crisis. So it's interesting that people are seeing a difference. I think it's interesting, of those three listed, I think a Civic, you might be able to get a hybrid option in. I'm not sure on a Corolla. And then a Tesla is obviously all electric. This particular article doesn't get into the electric versus fuel, but I know just from kind of some research that a lot of people are also pulling back on the all electric kind of buy-in. I think most people are looking at hybrids, if not staying gas.
Well, cars in general have just gotten insane with how much money they cost.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big part of it too. The average cost is near $50,000 now. Yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah, I mean, the cheaper options, these cars are cheaper. They're probably still hovering around 40, but that's a $10K difference.
Yeah, I do know Chevy makes a smaller electric one. I think it's just called the Chevy
Spark
EUV now, or something like that. And those I think you can get for around 30, and it's an all-electric one.
I think the Prius still exists.
Oh, yes, the Prius does exist.
Oh, yeah, trucking. And something tells me that those Prius just also last forever.
They do.
I think if there was an American Toyota comparison, it would be the Prius. Like, it's just going to go.
American Toyota comparison.
Yeah, like Toyota has those small cars that are going to, like, you'll drive the wheels off of it, like you could have it for 15 years. And and literally, like, I think your axle would probably just break first before the engine goes. And I think if there was a comparison, it seems like the Prius. I don't know anyone with a Prius, so I can't speak to any engine problems per se. But it just seems like a car that lasts. When people have one, they seem to have it forever.
Oh, I've had 2.
Oh.
And we had them forever.
There you go.
Yeah. We just got rid of it. I mean, there wasn't anything wrong with it.
Yeah, just time to upgrade?
Yeah. She got another Toyota, though.
Oh, Toyota Prius. I was actually thinking that it was an American car. That's totally my bad.
Yeah, that's why I was so confused.
I think I was thinking of the Spark. I had said Spark before that.
Okay.
And that's just a classic example, I guess, of Toyota being that car that'll last forever. They really do, though. That's kind of their moniker, and they can stand by it for sure.
Yeah, you can fit quite a bit of things in the Prius.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
R.I.P. the Malibu, though, because that is the American car that I think kind of also goes on forever.
Remember the Chevy Lumina?
I remember the Chevy Cobalt.
Oh, the Lumina is like a 90s car.
The Cobalt was also.
Cobalt.
Yeah.
I remember the Cobalt being more like roundish.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like it's really funny to have, like, just look at the body styles. We got very square at some point in time, like almost too square. Like the Hummer came out and everybody was like, get rid of that. Like, we want edges. Like, we went from actually thinking back to the Ford Taurus. They had a version that was quite frankly like an egg. Like, it was like oval front, oval back. Like, it was like an egg-shaped car.
Well, and then who was it? Toyota Scion made that cube thing. Was it the XC or something?
Isn't there a car also just called the Soul? The Soul is also a cube.
Yeah, the Kia Soul. Oh yeah, there is one called like the Cube, I think. Nissan Cube, I believe.
Yeah. Nissan, I don't think I would ever suggest buying one, but that's also a cheap car you could get into if you really just needed something.
I like the Ultimas. I had an Ultima for a while. AC went out. Wasn't a cheap fix. It was like more than what the car was worth.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I just traded it in.
No, they all feel too lightweight, and I don't like that. They feel like fast little go-karts. Like Shitbox Gen 1.
They were fun to drive. I liked it.
I don't know, man. It feels like the wind could take you away in that.
Well, the Prius too.
Oh, absolutely.
That thing, we drove that down to Tennessee once, like Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg area.
Yeah.
We couldn't.
Terrifying.
We couldn't go hardly up any hills.
Yeah, it was like, no.
We were bottoming out of stuff, so we just had to turn around.
Yeah. No. It's like, it taps out for sure. That car's gonna.
It tried.
It will. It'll give you its best.
Yeah.
It's gonna I
put it in power mode. But
that feels a lot like saying you're the tallest dwarf.
Oh.
You know.
I mean, the tallest dwarf
to small people.
The tallest dwarf is probably.
You can't be taller than like 4'2", right? Isn't it? But
if it's just a dwarf community and it's all dwarfs, the tallest dwarf is very like.
Well, the strongest
valuable.
Prius would be very valuable.
Yeah.
In some setting.
Yeah. Some of the new Priuses now, the plug-in ones, you can get certain models that have the solar panel built into the roof.
That just feels very like, okay, I get it. You drive a Prius.
You can't. I get charges, but it's like such a small amount that you get from that little thing. It's just a couple miles.
I would think the weight would throw it off, where it's like, you're not really getting anything anyway. Because the additional weight would wear on the power.
No, I do like the idea of like a plug-in hybrid where you get, 30 miles or so for a charge? Because a lot of people's commutes are less than that.
Right, yeah.
And that would be perfect.
I think that's why hybrid cars are really like a great solution to kind of what we're going for here, because if you have a long road trip and you can't like most people don't want to have two cars. Like you can't have your electric car and then your gas powered car. Like you want one car, your daily. That's most of America. Most Americans have one car.
Yeah.
Get a hybrid. So then you don't have to like pay as much when you're just going to work, but you can cut out on a road trip and still be fine.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. We solved it. Americans, we're looking for cheap cars. It will be interesting to see if the market reacts to this and we see maybe, I don't know, a few more of our old friends come back. Maybe we can get a Cobalt.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think one of my neighbors had a Cobalt once. But I'm pretty sure Trump's going to like reverse all of Biden's electric vehicle initiatives. So yeah, EVs will probably go down this year in sales just because of that.
Well, they already were. It was already dead.
I think they like killed something where they were going to expand the charging network. Pretty sure he killed that.
I'm not sure that would have worked anyway because our power grid's awful.
I think it was there. I think it's there. Europe's got it figured out.
They don't.
Oh yeah.
They definitely don't.
What's those Scandinavian ones? Like some of their parking lots now, they have solar panels all over the top of them, and solar panels.
The Scandinavian countries are terrible countries to compare to the U.S. because they're so different.
Well, it is small. Okay.
And a monogamous.
You got to think of
very
it
different setup
too, like if a state did that compared to the whole country, because a lot of those European countries are the size of states.
States could totally take it on.
Yeah,
they could pick up where anything has been left off for sure.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool to see a state just be like, okay, we're doing this. But,
never know.
Yeah, we'll see. Politics, man.
And on that note, that's another episode of our Dinner Party Podcast. We'll see you next time. Bye.